Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, here we go.
What
I
you-
did it.
Come on. What
I watched.
could you possibly be upset about? Hmm? I mean, I know it wasn't the ending. That's for fucking sure. So what exactly pissed you off about the very confusing ending of this fucking three-parter, huh?
I I regret pitching this. I
Man.
I should have left this one alone because
Mm.
when this part was over, I walked away hating everybody. I
Oh.
hated everybody. There was not one person I felt like, no, that's not true. Awesome Kong, Kia Stevens. She was awesome. She was hilarious during this whole fucking thing. She was talking wild shit this whole time. And as my wife said it, she was the only one that gave me the impression that she was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Everybody pointed the finger at everybody else. She fucked me. He fucked me. He stabbed me in the back. She did this. They did this. He did this. They conspired everybody. And you know what I learned?
Including Jeff Jarrett, by the way.
Yes,
I think he's the one that was full of shit this whole time.
100% full of shit. I don't buy a single fucking thing that he said at all whatsoever during
selling,
this whole fucking thing.
But I ain't fucking buying, buddy.
I didn't buy what he was selling. I didn't buy what Karen was selling. I didn't buy what Vince Russo was selling. The Talking Heads, Scott Morris full of shit. All the way down the line. Everybody who had a D'Lo Brown came across as a pretty likable dude, but
He wasn't on there much though.
no, you know
He
why?
had,
Because
he had like 2 bars, and that was it. He really on all three parts. He's got like maybe 3 minutes of screen time.
and it's all vague shit. Like when he made comments about like when TNA decided to go on Monday nights head to head with Raw. Well, that was a stupid idea, like shit like that. But like,
yeah, like punchline, like one-liners, some shit.
yeah,
like that.
yeah. He spoke in sound bites, which was pretty cool, and they needed that, I guess. But I walked away from this hating absolutely everybody. Everybody. I thought everybody looked fucking stupid. And you know why I think everybody looked fucking stupid? Go back.
Because they were fucking stupid.
Because they were determined to explain in great detail how stupid they were. That's what upset me. Because you could say something that reveals you to be stupid and not know that you did that. You could say something.
It's called being stupid.
Right.
It's like action, not playing stupid. See, people don't understand the difference between playing stupid, acting stupid, and being stupid. And the latter is what you just explained.
Yeah, and for the record, all three were on display in this goddamn documentary, right?
It covered the spread.
Vince Russo, Jeff Jarrett, Karen Angle, off the top of my head, those three, not only snitched on themselves 1,000 times over, I was catching a pattern. Each one of them kept telling you, before the shitty thing happened, they kept saying over and over again, we were trying to count how many times they would do it. They kept telling you, I knew this was going to happen, and then it happened. Oh, I knew what game he was playing, and then he played it. Oh, I knew what the power play was, and then they let the power play happen. Every time they explained something shitty, they prefaced it by saying that they saw it coming. All three did this, okay? And the sentence of the entire episode that blew my mind so ridiculously that I had to pause it and fucking breathe was when Vince Russo said about Jeff Jarrett, and this was toward the end, where he goes, because it was based off of what Anthem was doing with TNA at the time, that once Dixie was out of the way and it was just Anthem owned, Vince Russo said that Jeff Jarrett was such an inspirational dude that if the power play hadn't happened and had he been allowed to have been in control the entire time, that TNA would be at a much bigger spot than it is today. You fuck! You're the reason the power play happened, you fucking bitch shit.
Hey, he played the game.
I told my son when we were watching it, imagine someone stabbing you in the back and costing you your dream job. And the reason why he cost you your dream job is because he wanted the dream.
Yeah, he wanted the control.
And so he stabs you in the back to get the dream job. And then the person who's in charge of deciding who gets the dream job still doesn't give it to you. They give it to somebody else. And not just somebody else, your mortal enemy, Hulk Hogan. Because that's who Vince Russo's real enemy is. It's Hulk Hogan. So you stabbed your friend in the back to get his job, and they gave his job to somebody else. And then you went on camera and said, man, if only he hadn't been stabbed in the back, we would have made so much more money. You fucking lunatic. You're the dipshit that stabbed him in the fucking back.
Hey, man, hindsight 2020, you know what I mean?
No, you can't live in the past, right? It's like, we have to get over things, right? I'm like, what?
And I'm calling Cap, by the way, because I don't think he believes that.
No, because he wanted the company. His true belief is that he could have saved TNA.
Yeah,
that's what his true belief is. And then when he was criticizing Hogan, he was like, Hogan and Bischoff are only worried about Hogan and Bischoff. We work for TNA. Fuck you. Because in 08 and 09, when TNA was at its highest, it was you, it was Jeff Jarrett, it was Dutch Mantel. You drove Dutch Mantel off, you drove him insane, and then you allowed Dixie Carter to fuck over Jeff, which left you as the last man standing, which is what you wanted.
Which is what he wanted.
Until you were not the last man anymore. They immediately replaced those two people with a guy you didn't like, and now it's a problem.
He got fucked, yeah.
That was where the true problem became, because you didn't like Hogan, you didn't like Bischoff, you knew that you fucked them over in WCW, and now they were coming back in a power position, and you were fucked. And you knew it. So all of a sudden now, Jeff Jarrett is the greatest human being who ever lived.
Yep. Damn.
And the Jeff Jarrett was supposed to. I said this in the first part. Now I'm completely convinced. He really believed by the time that this series is over, he would be the sympathetic figure.
Who, Jeff Jarrett?
Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, 100%. That's why he did it.
He 100% believed he was going to come out of this series looking like, what a fucking hero. What a fucking hero.
Or maybe not even the hero, but at least, damn, man, they really fucked him over.
Jeff Hardy. Jeff motherfucking Hardy. I need him to not talk as Jeff Hardy ever again. I need him to just be the character. I need him to be the charismatic enigma. I need him to jump off of high shit. I don't ever want to hear him discuss anything about life. You know, Jeff Jarrett, he's a real inspiration. When? Because you were around Jeff when you fucking fucked your whole life up with the drug thing. So at what point did he inspire you to do any fucking thing?
Drugs?
And then that was the real inspiration. I didn't know you could survive that amount of drugs. I'm gonna try to get my personal best. Did you see the footage that they played for Victory Road when he was fucked up? When Jeff Hardy was fucked up before the match.
Yeah, how they sent him home and shit like that.
They didn't even send him home. They sent him to the ring.
Well, no. They sent them to the ring, and then they realized, that was a bad idea. So they went out to cover it. And who was it? Sting? Was it Sting he was wrestling?
He was wrestling Sting for the world title. Yeah,
right. Sent them home. Aggressive pin. He was trying to kick out, but he counted him out.
Let me explain something to the people out there who have spent no time inside of a professional wrestling locker room. Jeff Hardy and Sting are the main event of this pay-per-view. Sting is defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Jeff Hardy in the main event. Main event. These are not job guys. These are not curtain jerkers. These are not enhancement talent. It's Jeff motherfucking Hardy. If you are trying to convince me that nobody knew he was fucked up at the beginning of the night, from the minute he walked in the door. Because if you look at the footage of him walking to the ring, he didn't get like that in the last hour of the pay-per-view. It wasn't like he surprised people at Gorilla that he was fucked up. He was fucked up that whole time.
Well, they assumed he was, from my understanding, if that was the case, to me, my understanding is that they assumed it would wear off by the time he got there. And then when he did get there, this part they said he'll be fine the moment he steps out. They're assuming that adrenaline hit will sober you up, right? If you've been drunk before, some shit happens, and you are drunk. Something happens, and you sober up. You know what I mean? Like for the most part, and you're able to handle the situation. But I think they assume that amount of energy from the big match would kind of overcome it and him be able to function. But clearly, when they saw him walking down the ramp, they're like, oh no, this is not good at all.
And the one thing that you asked me earlier, what was it you saw that pissed you off? It was this. Mm-hmm. Because they have been trying to convince me this entire time that the TNA story is the Jeff Jarrett story.
Mm-hmm.
That the two are intertwined. And I've been saying this entire time, fuck no. You want to intertwine it. That doesn't mean that it is intertwined.
Okay.
And so we get to the Jeff Hardy story. Jeff's not even in the fucking building. He's at the fucking hotel. They called him to come. Jeff is fucked up. We need you. He gets there. This is the story Jeff's telling. He gets there, and they got about 18 people talking to Jeff Hardy. He can't get a word in edgewise and just goes, you know what? Everybody was just so into it. I feel like anything I said would have made it worse, so I just left. Why are we talking about this story then? Why are we even discussing this? You did nothing. You know who did stuff? Bischoff. Bischoff did stuff and still passed the buck. No one took responsibility for allowing him to go to the ring. Again, this person, everyone's pointing in different directions. No fucking accountability anywhere. The only person taking any responsibility for anything at all was Eric Bischoff going to the ring and telling Jeff Hardy, get out of the ring right now. Why? 30 seconds ago, you guys told him to go to the ring. Are you seriously trying to convince me that you didn't know he was that fucked up before he went through the curtain? It wasn't until he was in the ring and on camera on live pay-per-view when you went, he seems off.
This ain't it. Yeah, he may not be. He's going to hurt somebody.
It's bullshit. They had a pay-per-view that was on the air. They had a main event they could not replace.
Nope.
And they tried to force it to fucking happen. When they got into the ring and realized it absolutely could not, that was when Bischoff told the story about, I went up to Jefferson, get out of the ring, and there was nothing happening. So he goes to sing, hit him when you're finished and get the fuck out of here. So your solution to a guy who is inebriated in the ring with no vision of anything that's happening is to give him a fucking scorpion death drop onto the back of his head and pin him 1, 2, 3. That's what you want to do. And for the record, Jeff Hardy was out of his mind and still bumped it like a madman. That was your fucking solution to the problem. And they left one very important detail out. Jeff told his side where he was just like, and then I left. And then Bischoff was like, well, we went to the bed. Everyone told their stories. One person was honest. And I think it was Scott D'Amore who said that the locker room was not happy with Jeff. You want to tell a real story about what happened to Jeff Hardy? You know who was gunning for Jeff that night? AJ Styles was ready to fuck this motherfucker up on site at that pay-per-view because Sting won that world title that he was defending against Jeff and a whole program with AJ and like a bunch of other people. They moved all those people out of the way because Jeff was the hot commodity at the time and they wanted him in the title picture. Mm-hmm. So they all lost that spot so that Jeff could get it, and this is how he showed up. So they were ready. I heard stories of people having to remove AJ from the building. You got to leave because he had bloodlust. He was ready to fucking kill this motherfucker right here. Don't worry, he ain't gonna feel it. Just bring his ass over here. It'll be quick. They did a thing. They also didn't mention this, but when Jeff Hardy eventually did return, they did this thing on Impact where they made him go to all these different wrestlers on camera, and they basically he went to seek them out to apologize and to take responsibility for his actions, and he had to sit there and be berated by these wrestlers on camera. Like, how could you? What a fuck up! But AJ lit his. That was a shoot. AJ went off on him, and that's on YouTube. You guys can check it out of AJ Styles going berserk on fucking Jeff Hardy and just letting him know this is how I feed my family. This. And you fuck it up. And I was like, yeah, let him go. I hated every single person on this goddamn show. Then they got into the Jeff Jarrett stuff with even he, Jeff Jarrett, he can't even do the pain of addiction correctly. Because I thought he was going to tell us this really sob story. He said, "I'll never forget the turning point in my life. We're doing a backyard pool party at my house. It's a pool party. We got the friends over, the family over, cooking up the grilling. We grilling." I get the burgers out, the dogs. We're doing our thing. He goes, and I look at the mirror as I'm drinking a beer. I look in the mirror. I look down. And he sees a beer belly, and he goes, "Not on my watch." That's when I knew right there I had to make a change. And it pauses for him, and he goes, just like that, I switched to vodka, and I went, "This motherfucker." This motherfucker just said,
"I switched to vodka." That shit threw me off. I'm like, I for a second, I was like, oh, we're about to get the redemption arc.
That's where I thought he was headed.
I switched to vodka. Yep.
And I'm like, oh, here comes the moment where he had the epiphany. I got to change my life. Nope. I'm going to do a worse thing that I was doing before. Then when he gets to the actual part where he did have the epiphany and he's gonna go to rehab, he's gonna do all this stuff, he's at rock bottom, his wife's looking at him and they're like, "What are you gonna do, man? You gonna fix your life and all that stuff?" And he goes, "And God spoke through me, I'm gonna clean myself up." And I said, here we fucking go again. No one finds God faster than people who have burned every literal bridge in their entire life. When they have burned every bridge, when they've scalded every friend and family member that they can, when there's nothing left to destroy, they turn to the Lord. And here we go. God spoke to me and said, "Jeff, you've got to clean up your act, big guy." And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Here goes this shit again. I was like, all right. Oh,
and then your boy Tony Khan calls him.
Another bullshit. Oh my God!
I forgot about that. You saw that? No, you did. That's the part I was waiting for this whole time.
So he
came on that screen glazing.
I screamed at my TV screen. I said, "Oh, we're talking about AEW now," and he starts talking about the Owen Hart tournament. And I said, "Oh, we're talking about the Owen Hart tournament. Let's see where this goes." And of course, all he talked about was the good shit that happened from that tournament. He didn't talk about the tournament. And I looked right at my wife. I said, "Are they fucking shit?" Because the AEW part of the story, they're cutting back and forth between Jeff Jarrett and Tony Khan. It's going back and forth. And I'm listening to Tony Khan talk, which is a painful process, but I'm going through it, and I pause it because they set it up perfectly on how this was going to go with the tournament, and then they never talked about what happened in the tournament. And I went, fucking assholes. I'm assuming they weren't going to get Tony Khan. What happened was, folks, AEW was getting criticized for having an Owen Hart Memorial Tournament.
I remember that, yep.
Because they didn't have access to the footage. They had access to home video and pictures from the wife, or the why am I blanking on the word? Widow. The widow of Owen Hart. Martha Hart. And so they had gotten a few things from her, but a lot of the people that were competing in the tournament are too young to have had any connection to Owen, right? It's a memorialized tournament. We get it. We're paying homage to someone who didn't get the chance to get that honor in WWE because Martha won't allow it. She doesn't want the people that killed her husband to profit off of her husband. I completely understand. But I've argued against this tournament for a while because what does it do for Owen or the family? Not a whole lot. It does a lot for AEW, so she didn't let WWE do it, but someone's profiting off of the husband anyway. Anyway, long story short, it wasn't this year's tournament. I think it was like last year's tournament where they had Jeff Jarrett on the staff, and then they announced that he would be in the tournament, which I thought, that's amazing. He's the one human being on this earth that not only has a connection to Owen Hart, best friend of Owen Hart, up and down the roads together, two promoters' sons, living it up. And I said, this is great because finally they have a built-in story here. I didn't think Jeff would win the tournament. Obviously, it should go to the up-and-comers, but you could really get a lot of promo, a lot of story out of this because this is Owen Hart's best friend competing in an Owen Hart Memorial Tournament. This is great.
Makes sense.
So they had all of the wrestlers come down and they cut promos about what Owen Hart means to them, and everyone had to do it. So they had Jeff do it. And Jeff cuts this amazing promo. Very emotional, in my opinion. It's one of the best promos he ever cut in his life. It was an amazing promo. Very emotional, talks about the road, talks about the ups and downs, what Owen Hart means to him. It was like having a brother that died. It was a family member to him that died. It was important to him that they pay homage and they give tribute, and it's important to him that he gives tribute to his best friend in this tournament. I mean, it rallied, right? So then we get to Chicago, the start of the tournament. He's a heel in the company, but he comes up to Chicago after that promo. He gets a hero's welcome. They're tearing the roof off for Jeff Jarrett. I haven't heard that motherfucker get a pop like that since the WCW days or the WWE days. The building is shaking for Jeff Jarrett. He comes out with the wife and the friends. It's a big entrance for him. He's got Adam Page in the first round, a high-level, main event level talent for AEW. This is the perfect scenario. And then they went out to the ring and they just beat him. Just flat out, just fucking beat him. That's it. Thanks for the
break, dude.
Thanks for the memories. Take this L. Head to the back. Good luck with the rest of your fucking retirement tour. That is it. Then, to push the issue further and to jump on the wave, because of course they booed Adam Page out of the building for beating Jeff. Like a week or two later, Jeff Jarrett does this huge promo on Dynamite about getting one last run. Wants one last shot at a championship before he calls it quits. And did this big thing about it, and the crowd's behind him because he's still getting steam off of that promo. They even had him and MJF do something in the ring together to kind of hype things up. Never happened. They put him on the pre-show as an interviewer. That was it. It was done. I'm like, they didn't show that part. They got the inspirational shit out of the way, but they're like, oh, and stuff was like, what was the rest of it? They beat him. That's the rest of it. They just flat out beat him. They didn't mean jack shit to anybody in that company. Oh, they were friends. Whatever, dude. We got plans for this shit. He's not fucking up our plans because he cried on camera. We have some other shit we need to do.
We're just gonna use him. Seems to be his story, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. We said it at when we talked about part 2. Unless your money's on the line and your name's on the paper, you don't own shit. You don't own anything. And it just became more and more evident here that every project he was a part of, he was way in over his head. Yeah, every fucking time. A lot of gumption. He's a hard worker. He works well under pressure of spit and glue, and he's a great wrestling mind. He could put matches together. He knows how to utilize talent or whatever. He's not a businessman. He's not. He got exposed here. Not much of a businessman. I'll go ahead and put him in the Paul Heyman category. Great fucking wrestling guy. And I would put Paul above Jeff as far as business. He understands the business side of things pretty well. Just couldn't execute it at the time. Jeff's the same way. He's too much. He's too much heart. All right. I came away from this from this when you think about all these other promotions that have had this problem. Mm-hmm. One promotion that I've seen in my life that's never had an issue with who's on top and who makes the decisions. Vince McMahon. You want to give him shit for being a dick? You couldn't touch it. You could not get to Vince McMahon.
Full control.
He made sure everyone was aware. I'm the man here. Everything here runs through me. I want to know how many cheeses are on the plate in catering. Everything comes through here. Everybody else tries to run things like a committee, like a community. That's not how business is ran. You need to be the boss. You need to be the guy in fucking charge. And I don't mean the guy that everyone likes to be the boss. The boss. I'm paying for it. I own it. It is mine, and this is how I run it. And if you don't like how I run it, you do not need to be here.
Well, he wasn't paying for it. And you know what? Some can argue, like, they try to pull the Vince play, but Vince pulled it off, and he didn't. That's it, dude. Is trying to get his dad to pitch up money.
If Tony Khan, because Tony Khan runs his company that way. It's community this. It's what do you want to do. It's the only thing saving his ass is that he's paying for everything. So he can't be voted out of anything. They can't vote him out. He is the guy who he's the guy, and he doesn't really have an interest in being the guy. He likes all the fun, cool parts about being in charge. He doesn't like any of the nasty, bad little parts. If you're doing great on TV, he loves the chatting and the pep talks and the slap on the backs and the, hey, man, he's doing great. I love what he's doing for the company. But for the people that are not doing so well and it's time to let him go, and he doesn't want to let him go, and he ghosts people, he doesn't call people back. He would rather pay you your full salary while you sit at home doing nothing than to just have the conversation of going, yeah, I don't think this is working out. Because he doesn't like scenarios where he's the bad guy. I don't like confrontation all that much. Vince will cut you in the moment.
He gets a hard on for that shit.
Oh, yeah, he can't wait.
That's the difference.
He comes to work. Somebody fuck up, please, so I can fire him.
He don't need to. If he has an urge, someone's getting fucked with.
So you can say what you want about him as an individual, but at least he held his shit down. Jesus Christ. Was there any other standout moments for you for this third part? We rounding it up here.
No. I mean, I know I'm being dramatic when I say this, but I left more confused than I fucking got anything out of
Solved it. Nothing.
Personally, I mean, like I said, I think the perspective was really cool that you have an in-depth knowledge of it, and I have none at all. And I thought it would be very interesting to see what I would imagine there would have been some opposing outlook, but for some reason, I feel like we're kind of on the same page here. It was confusing. I think Jeff Hardy came completely out of nowhere to push a narrative. No, Jeff Hardy's story didn't scream to me that we're tying in puzzle pieces. I literally got a brand new story on the ass end of this that I'm being told that Jeff bowed out of. So it didn't really have anything to kind of do anything to it.
The reason that they gave on the show for bringing it up is because it all happened under Dixie Carter's watch. So they were putting it. They're
trying to paint her the villain.
Yes.
At this, and at the end of the day,
it's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
Jeff Hardy is an asshole.
For the same reason that we are hating Dixie Carter because she's the money mark that's getting involved in doing stupid shit. At the end of the day, the people that are making the gorilla, the people that are making the call, I don't think Dixie Carter was in Gorilla and told you guys to do that. I don't think Dixie Carter made the decisions that happened. If anything, they called him in to gain control over what's going on. Now, I don't completely disagree with him. I don't disagree with him sandbagging that situation because at this point, how much he's been fucked around and he keeps getting called in to finalize things and then gets kicked to the curb again, right? Like it was with the whole Hulk Hogan thing when they were doing the original conversation, she called him in to have that meeting with her and then immediately removed him once that was done. So they've been playing with this guy for years. Now at this point, you have an opportunity. If I'm Jeff Jarrett, you have an opportunity in front of you to go, she made this decision. This is going to go bad. Anything I say is going to be a problem. So I just went home, right? Like my hands are clean from this. This isn't me. I didn't tell them to do this. There's a bunch of people piling and I wouldn't have made it any better. So my hands are clean from this. And at the end of the day, I don't think that's true. I think you should have been you were called to be the person there to make that decision or to figure it out. And instead of stopping it, you decided to walk away from it. So although yes, you were being used, and I can see your defense on why you would walk away, that doesn't change the fact that you did, and it was a bad decision. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you should have told them, hey, listen, I'm not involved with the company. You guys kind of handle that. I can't go down there. I have no power. Do the right thing. Don't let them go into the ring, but I can't get involved. Boom, and never go to the arena.
Yeah.
Never go. Then now your hands are clean. If
you're that worried about it, don't put him in the ring.
Now your hands are clean, but you went there. You saw it. You saw it. I don't know what was going through his mind or why he allowed whatever he did, but if you think that's making everyone else look bad, in my opinion, it's not. If anything, you kind of made them look better because the person that actually put the big boy pants on and got it taken care of was Eric Bischoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the one who had the nuts to go to the ring and kill it.
Jeff gave us at least three different situations where he was gone, and he would explain why he's gone. And he would say, oh, they fucked me. They screwed me over. I got a letter from Panda Energy. You're not a part of this anymore. He would tell all these stories about why they fucked him. And then they would call him and he'd
go right back.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. So I'm like,
chance.
I feel no sympathy for you after it's multiple times that you keep touching that the electric cupcake every goddamn time.
They tell you to jump and you say how high every single fucking time. So
it's like a social worker who keeps.
I get it.
It's the social worker who keeps trying to tell the girlfriend, you need to get away from him. He's hurting you. Oh, but then he calls it. He's so apologetic. It's like, okay, but you don't have to go back. You don't have to keep doing this. There were so many Jeff Jarrett returns to TNA that it was crazy. And he kept doing it every single time. And then they would have him do stupid shit while he was there. And he would just fucking do it. Well, we're bringing you back. Okay, cool. I'll come back. Yeah, but we're going to put that storyline with you. We're going to make a storyline with you, Karen, and Kurt, taking your real life situation and making it into a storyline. You're going to bring me back for that? Yeah. Okay. What do you mean, okay? You just said,
you just reminded me. And then he was like, when they pitched it to him, he thought he was in the clear, right? Because he's like, well, good luck convincing her, right? And Russo was like, oh, I already did. I'd have been like, Nico, I would have been like, what? Hold on. Were you talking to my fucking wife behind my back about a story? You know what I mean? Like, what?
Whoa, it wasn't Karen. It wasn't Karen. It was Dixie. He said, good luck getting it cleared from Dixie, because the last time that Jeff and Dixie spoke.
Okay, I got that.
The last time that Dixie and Jeff had spoke, they had it out over the Karen thing, and Dixie didn't want Karen anywhere near the company. So when Vince pitched the idea to Jeff goes, well, good luck getting it cleared from Dixie because of what happened the last time they spoke. And he goes, oh, no, I already got it cleared. She's okay with it. He was like, what?
I thought he was talking about the wife because I thought there would have been no way she would have done that.
No, and here's the crazy part about it, and this goes into more of the personal bullshit that they're trying to spin as sympathetic narrative, because Karen and Kurt, that relationship broke up because of Kurt's behavior and habits. There's that has been stated from both of them. Kurt admits that. Karen has said that. So with the storyline being that Jeff and Karen are the heels and Kurt is the baby face, it's ultra weird. Because imagine the reasoning on paper for your divorce is because of his actions. And then we go on TV and she's the conniving bitch fucking around on him. And so it's just like, what the fuck
she
is
went
happening?
through with it. They went through with it. I
Because
don't get it, man.
you know how I think, you know why I think she did it is because the guys convinced her to do it. Jeff and Kurt. I think that's why. I don't think Karen would have wanted to do that shit. Why would I want to go on screen and portray myself in a real life situation as the whore in this situation?
Well, didn't she say something like she used it as an outlet to get some of her frustration?
Because that was the excuse that they gave her to do it.
She was shooting.
Yeah, that was the excuse they gave her. I'm sure Kurt was sitting there going, yeah, just fucking let it out. All that shit that you said to me before to my face, just do it again and put the camera on and that's it. Because if there's anything I know about Jeff and Kurt, even Awesome Khan gave them props because this was a real thing, but they worked it. Neither one of them stepped over that line and made it too personal. They kept it to work. They never got out of control. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, because they understood what this was. It was a real life situation that the audience bought into as a real life situation. And they tried to make some money off of it. They're workers. They're carnies. They know how this works. It's everybody else involved that's taking advantage of the situation. Let me tell you something. If I lost my wife to a motherfucker, we're not doing an angle about it. It's bad enough. It's bad enough that it's already public, right, that everybody is aware this is happening to some degree, because we'll never all really know the actual story about what's going on between them. That's always going to be close to the vest, but we know that they're not together anymore, and the fact that that's out there already is already an issue enough as it is. But then to go on TV and dramatize it for the sake of the ratings, and because not many divorce cases end in cage matches, although they should. In all fairness, I'm like, if you really want the house,
yeah, right, you got to beat me for it.
Okay, let's go. Get the 1, 2, 3. No outside interference. Let's go. Steel cage. 2-man enter. 1-man leaves. Who gets the house? Who gets the kids? Let's go. 2 out of 3 falls. Let's go. You want the boat? You want the car? Let's go. So yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you really want to make it fair, if you want to get divorce settlements and it's not fair because it's woman on man, let's pick a squad of 2 or 3. I'll pick a squad of 3. We'll do a 6-man tag team match. No holds barred. Texas Tornado rules. One fall to a finish. That's who gets the house. Let's go. Let's figure this out. Let's do it like they used to do back in the Greco-Roman days. Let's wrestle for it. It's gladiator times. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely. This was a weird. I need to find a proper TNA documentary somewhere because this is bullshit. Get this.
You gotta cleanse your spirit.
No, because they kept repeating it. A lot of the talking heads were like, the TNA story is Jeff Jarrett's story, or Jeff Jarrett's story is the TNA. No, it's not. You're trying to make it that. There's a lot of blocks of time where there has been more TNA existence without Jeff than with him.
It's funny too because I feel like we got everything, and I'm sure there's more, but I feel like we got everything but the good parts of TNA. And I know it's Dark Side of the Ring, so that's fine. But again, I feel like we got everything except for the good part of TNA.
Which, I mean, Dark Side of the Ring, I get it, but this was all over the place. All over the place. And all of it bad. Jesus Christ. All of it bad. So, that's it. Deuces on Dark Side of the Ring. God damn it. I'm all done and over with that goddamn thing.